Wait, what's that? What's that one game show with the shopping carts? Is that Shop Till You Drop?
I have no idea what you're talking
That's oddly
about.
specific.
God, I love that show when I was a kid.
No idea what you're talking about.
Or like they have a certain amount of time to get like.
It's like a quiz show, and they're like, do, and then at the end of the round, they're like, okay, whoever has the most, go grab everything. You've like 60 seconds.
I never watched it, but I've seen like
God,
clips
it's
and
awesome.
stuff.
I haven't heard of that, I don't think.
Incredible. I wish
We're talking
they did
about game shows?
like
The whammy one. I don't know which one that one was, but
Press Your Luck?
Whammy?
Press Your Luck. Boom. Press Your Luck is dope.
What is that?
The only reason I know that is because I was just watching, because I haven't actually seen that one. I was just watching a Rhett and Link and they were talking about that.
Yeah, Press Your Luck is my jam. And then that's also where I saw recent Carlton from Fresh Prince, and he
Alfonso?
he chunked up real hard for a little while there.
Chunked out
What the
real
heck
hard.
is his
Yeah,
full
he was pretty chunky.
Was he? I didn't think he ever got like
Yeah,
big.
he was pretty chubby.
It is Shop Till You Drop. Hell yeah.
See, I don't know that one.
At least in
Boy, that
comparison
was a
to what he
goodie.
was. Because he was pretty...
That's some good old
Pretty
90s
fit.
TV right there.
I'm trying to think what my game. I was never like crazy on game shows. I didn't mind them,
game
but,
shows are my shit. I watch those all the
like,
time with my mom.
I'd get down with Jeopardy now and then.
Oh my god, no, I don't like those at all.
What?
It's boring.
You're boring.
The only thing that
I like
changes is the
Jeopardy
people.
because of trivia.
That's literally it.
And the questions, yeah, it's
I
trivia.
mean, I don't know.
It's like hardcore Trivial Pursuit. You get like challenging questions, and
Mhm.
it feels good to know them
like
sometimes too.
Family Feud, God.
It's like, oh, it's this.
I love Steve Harvey, but wow, I cannot watch
Oh, okay.
that.
Family Feud
What?
with the dude from Home
Jim Carrey?
Improvement was
Oh.
really good.
Oh, the guy who played
Home
Al.
Improvement.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
I didn't. He was probably my least pick, honestly. I didn't mind
I'd
him.
pick
but
him way over
I'd
Steve
pick-
Harvey.
No
Yeah,
way.
I don't mind Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey's the man.
Steve Harvey as a person,
Steve Harvey
I don't
is
really care about.
Trash.
But I think specifically on Family Feud, he did all right.
Nah.
He had some of the more fun, like awkward moments between families too.
Oh, like that one where the question's like, "What's the last thing you put your finger in?" And the dude's like looking, like eyeballs looking around, and he's like, my wife." And he's like, "What?"
Oh my god.
Oh, you know the best
Dang.
host, even though it wasn't technically that, is Key Michael Key in the Always Sunny episode.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And Dennis started like shouting at the end because they played that buzzer sound. He's like, "Can you not play that sound? Can you turn it down?"
I don't know that I remember that one.
Dude, I love
Is that like the one where it's like Dennis on a
They made it on a Family Feud, and it was another one of those like gimmicks where Charlie had been quizzed for it, so he kept on giving the 1-point answers. Whether one of them was name one thing you. Oh, what was it? Name one thing you groom, and he said a bride.
gosh.
Oh man.
Well, that show is
That's a different-
twisted. I love it though.
Yeah. Fuck Devin.
Charlie's my boy. I love him so much.
I don't see how Devin shits on Sunny in Philadelphia. It's so good. He's just a hater.
I'll concede
Drinking
there are
that
definitely some
haterade.
episodes where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but he watched like one episode. He said, "I've seen bits and pieces of it, and it's just trash."
Yeah, he's got to give it another chance. Like the Wizard of Oz one was pretty good when they turn into a black family.
Oh my god, I fucking love that one. That one's so good. He's over there just hating away.
Bringing that haterade.
Japanese game shows though, those
Those are nuts.
those are awesome.
I never have any idea what's going on in those. It's just like
Yeah, it doesn't
people
make any
yelling
sense.
and like people running around and
I would
just,
love
like,
to be just like
falling over.
Can you get paid to be on those?
I think
I would do that
I think
so
it's
hard.
more of you get the publicity and you also potentially get the prize. I don't know if you get paid just to be on it,
Like be a
unless they
A
have
game
like the
show.
consolation prizes.
game show like guest
If
as
you're
a full time
host,
job.
you get paid. A full-time game show guest.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Alright, here's your job. Play on this game show.
There was one I was watching where it's like, oh my god, I don't know if I can remember. It's like a tub, I think.
Maybe to be a judge or something.
And the people are naked. It's like dudes, and it's like
It's
this.
always like naked dudes.
It's always
they have to go
naked
from
I
like
don't know what or at
one
least pretty
point.
close to naked dudes.
They have to go like from one point and it's like slide all the way around to the other point.
Yeah, and sliding's another thing.
It's like
They
what?
do the stairs covered in
Oh.
Vaseline. They do the one where it's like I think it's oil on this like steep like flat surface that they have to climb the rope.
Oh my gosh!
There's one. The thing is, it's always some kind of perversion with them too, because one of the ones that I had come across was it's like they've got 9 like boxes, like little panels that are like tic-tac-toe setup. But the goal is to throw these like they have to climb up the rope thing and throw a ball into the panel. And it's like a girl who's undressed behind it,
Oh
and
my
so they
gosh.
like get to see parts of her, and if they get them all, then they see like all of her. And it's
Is she
the weirdest
naked?
thing. Yeah, well, I think she starts off in a bikini, and then she gets naked throughout. And
Yeah.
it's the weirdest. Like I don't even know what's going on.
I saw one that's like they have to answer trivia questions while receiving oral and stuff, and I'm just like,
What?
the fuck? What is this? Like,
And then it's
What?
marketed as a kid show.
I'm down to try, but like that's a weird fucking.
Is that kind of
That's
stuff
a
more
weird show.
accepted in Japan? Like
It's
nudity
weird
and
'cause
sexuality and all
It's
that?
like both. That's what I thought was really weird. Also, here's the little thing about the
Mayflies.
evolution. Yeah.
Then they shrink and die. And turn
It's
back into
so-
a dot.
At least based on what I learned in my Japanese class and from the 2 weeks I spent in Japan, it seemed really mixed. They're simultaneously really professional and together, and really open. It's like they definitely have their taboos, but they're also it's almost like they're more accepting, but they're like don't straight up flaunt it, I guess. Because when I went to this like mall, it was a weird like not underground, but like I don't know how to describe it. Like this alleyway mall thing, like strip mall, real nice looking, and they had a lot of cool stuff. But when I went through it, you go through these stores, and it's like, oh, here's some like anime stuff, and here's some whatever, and it's just normal random stuff. And then you get to this end, and there's one of those little like quarter machines. Obviously, it doesn't take quarters, but and the little toys that come in it are these like naked girls.
What?
Like if you think of not action figures, but those little, it's like they're in one pose and that's how they stay. They're just little figurines,
Gotcha.
but they're plastic. And the little things in that are these little naked girls or whatever. And it's like, this is just out in the open. Anybody can walk by and grab it. 50 cents, whatever. Their equivalent of 50 cents type thing. It was a very strange experience. They're also like the bookstore I went to. I guess upper level means adult section. And so I was just like, yeah, bookstore! Because I love books, man.
Yeah, books are awesome.
And so I'm going through the bookstore and I'm like, oh, cool, they've got the manga here and all that stuff. And then you get to the top floor. I went there with this other girl because we had gone out to eat. And I was just like, I'm not huge on this food. I don't mind some Japanese food. Rice is okay and all that kind of stuff. But most of what I ate while I was there was like authentic Mexican, as weird as that is. Italian food and like
What?
burgers.
They have Italian
They
food in
have an
Japan?
amazing Italian restaurant there.
That's
It's
so weird.
So good. Holy, like probably better than anything I've had here. I was blown away. But
Okay.
she was kind of like, yeah, I'm not feeling great, so I don't want to eat anyway. So we went off to this bookstore, and we're just looking through it, and I'm just like, all right, well, I guess there's another floor because it's not a skyscraper, but it's a several story like store. And so by the time I get to the top, I'm like, I think this is the adult section. And she's like, why? And I'm like, well, I looked at like one book and it's literally just like like porn. It was, but theirs was, it's like, the book had a girl in different poses while she was naked. That was their thing. It was almost like looking at the art. Like, if you, as an artist, you look at the different poses of people, and that's how they recommend to get better at drawing. It was like that, but it was marketed as, like, porn. And all the books up there were just nudes and stuff, and it was weird.
That's super weird.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be down to check it out, not solely because it's naked, but
I think there was
but not because of that.
true.
Not because of that, but my dick's hard. Oh, we're back to Maddie.
Oh yeah, this is where you pick her up and she piggybacks.
And she's just like, I'm sad, but I want
The escaped child.
I know Sam's a butt, but, you know, Sam seems like a jerk, though. Let's be real.
He does seem kind of like a dick.
Like, if he turns out to be evil, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, speaking of evil, I love the gang orca thing in My Hero.
I kind of expected it, but I love him. I was like, so if they're doing a rescue part, they've got to do something with the villains.
Yeah,
they're not just going to be like, yeah, go out there and pick people up.
Yeah.
And what I was telling Devin...
I think that's the last one I watched, actually. Or unless... I can't remember if that one's the last one or if it's the filler episode that's the last one. I didn't watch the newest one yet, but...
That's what it seems like is it any time I've talked to you guys. Like, I was like, oh, this one. Because that's the last one I had watched. And I was like, oh, did you watch this, whatever? And Devin's like, no, I stopped. And it seems like everybody just stopped right before the...
Well, Saturdays I'm usually really busy, so I just always end up forgetting until somebody mentions it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't seen that, because I've been on a Naruto kick, so I haven't taken a pause from that to watch the next My Hero.
Gotta finish that Naruto.
I'm getting there. I'm on episode 170. I was on episode
Like 500 some.
Well, yeah, 458, but
458.
I was on like...
Is that right?
Jeez.
Are you sure it's not?
Yeah.
I thought you checked the list today. I was pretty sure it said 500.
Think so.
Or something like that. I don't know. I'll check. I'll check after, but I don't really care.
I can check on my phone. Well, that's all the site that I use to watch it. That's all it says.
Are you watching dubbed?
Mm-hmm.
It might just not be caught up.
I was pretty sure dubbed caught up like a bajillion years ago.
Wow.
I was able to find so I was watching them as they were coming out. To be fair, I guess. And it has been a little bit, but I know dubbed was behind by a lot for a while there, at least. Because the ending was when I started college, which was 4 years ago. And that's when the last episode was, if I remember correctly. But that was subbed because it was just coming out in Japan. I think that's right. 2014 was the last Japan episode. And I'm pretty sure at that point America was behind by at least a year. Something like that. I don't know. Did you find the list?
Yeah, this is 500.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think the last ones might be the Gaiden ones or whatever, where it was originally going to be the end before they were like, yeah, we're going to actually pick up Boruto. But it's the bridge into that stuff. It's like the epilogue pretty much. I don't mind Boruto. It's not as solid as the original series, but it's decent.
Do you like him more than you like Gohan?
Is decent. Go back.
It's not Gohan, so of course I do.
Oh my gosh.
I don't mind Boruto the character that much, but he is super whiny. I had forgotten until I started getting back into it how bad the first time. Okay, I've gotten into Boruto 2 separate times, and the first was when they were first coming out, and they were only on episode 3 or something, and I was following it as it came out, and then I was like, okay, this is decent, and then I got back into it, and I was like, I forgot. And I guess never cared that much in the past about how much of a baby he is. I don't know.
For who?
Boruto.
Oh, okay.
He's like he's got an okay amount of Naruto spirit in him, and that he's like the undying resolve and all that kind of stuff. But he's also got the worst parts of Sasuke, which is all of him. In that he's like, boo-hoo, everything sucks. I'm not you. My dad doesn't care. Whatever. He's just I don't know.
Wait, who did Naruto sex up?
Hinata.
Well, spoilers.
The person. Oh, okay, yeah, totally.
Hinata?
The person they've been like doing stuff about since the very beginning of the series.
Yeah.
The pink-haired chick?
No, that's Sakura.
Oh my golly.
Hinata.
Oh.
Oh.
It's just like Naruto.
God, did they finally
big
check
blonde
up?
afro
Jeez,
guy?
oh Pete.
Naruto, is that where they do Super Saiyan?
Is that Treasure Island?
God, took him long enough to freak. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, even by the funny thing is, pretty much even the last parts of the series were Naruto being mostly oblivious or not really doing anything about it, which is why they did that, the last, I think it was called, movie, when it's the wedding part. It's them getting married, but it's like where they're finally, like, Naruto finally realized that she loves him and he finally loves her back. It's stupid how long they draw that out with him being like oblivious to it.
It's pretty long.
Especially since, like, I'm now he just finished, well, he didn't finish fighting, like, Nagato or whatever, but
Yeah.
he fought the last pain and Hinata came to his rescue, and he's like, why would you do this? And she's like, because you're awesome in this, and because I love you. And
Yeah.
it's like,
She literally
straight up
tells him.
just says, I love you, and he's like, what?
Yeah, then after
Who
that,
is
he
Hinata?
just
I'm like,
completely forgets about it.
Fucking what?
It's so absurd. Oh my golly.
Oh my golly.
Damn. I guess I'll have to, if I get that far and they haven't caught up, then I'll have to watch freaking subbed and I cry.
I don't mind subbed, it's just that I'm usually doing other stuff.
Yeah. Same.
Or okay, so I usually pay a good amount of attention to what I'm watching, but at the same time, like if I'm eating or something, I can like take a look down or whatever, I don't know. It's nice to not have to be always.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you can peek away for a second.
Yeah. Or in the inevitable moment where my mom's like, hey, I'm knocking at your door or calling you or whatever, I'm like, okay, I still know what's going on. I don't have to go back and rewind everything.
Yeah.
You just listen to it from the other room?
What?
You
No.
What the hell?
Well, it'll be like she'll call me on my phone or whatever. Usually if she calls me, I'll pause it.
Oh.
But if it's like she's knocking and she's like, hey, we're grabbing food, whatever, and then I'm like, okay, but I still heard they're like, oh, we're going to go fight the Orochimaru, whatever, I don't know. I didn't miss what they were saying on the show, and it's not worth rewinding, because it was just them being like, oh, let's do this. But if it were subbed, then I'm like, I don't know if I missed something or not, and I have to go back. I mean, it's trivial. It's really not a big deal, but it's nice to not have to be hyper focused on whatever and on all the words and stuff.
I still remember when I was like, watching the first series, and it was like, fuck Itachi, and you guys are all like, Itachi's cool, leave him alone.
I like Itachi.
Sasuke's
Even
brother?
from the beginning, he didn't really do anything. That's why I thought it was weird that you had such a problem with him, and it said he was basically Sasuke, because he didn't really do anything. He just showed up, like, briefly in the village with Kisame.
Nah, it definitely showed. Well, my problem with him was that he like murdered their whole family and stuff. But even after finding out that other shit about him, I was like, whatever. I don't hate him, but I don't like him.
God,
I've never thought he was the coolest character ever, but I think he's decent. He's definitely better than Sasuke.
Absolutely.
To compare that, I was just like, that's painful.
So is everybody.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like you were the only one who was like middle ground. Everybody else was like, Itachi's so cool, and then fucking, I'll suck his dick right now. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I don't see why, but
I think he's a cool dude. And he did the self-sacrifice, and honestly, part of it's his powers, because they're pretty dope. The Amaterasu and all that, and his crows and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the crows I thought was kind of cool.
And the Tsukuyomi.
The infinite Tsukuyomi, or infinite whatever.
Tsukuyomi.
It wasn't Tsukiyomi. That's the fire shit, right?
Tsukuyomi. Yeah, that's the moon shit.
Well, what's
It
the
means moon, if I remember correctly.
moon shit? What's the black
It does
fire?
like the
then?
red moon. That's a Materasu.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then it is the infinite Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, and it's like when they're in it, it shows that red moon in the sky.
That's his like genjutsu thing, right?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, Tsuku, I think it is, means moon or something like that.
That's the one where Kakashi got wrecked.
Rickety wrecked. Oh yeah.
Rickety wrecked.
But he made it out. That's why it kills me. Devin's just like, fuck Kakashi. And then he tells me I hate everything. I'm like, Devin, take a look in the mirror, man.
Yeah. He says finish the series, but honestly, there's not a whole lot that could make me feel like Kakashi is a garbage
He's
character.
totally unjust in it. He's explained that to me, and I don't remember his exact thing, but I remember it not making any sense.
Well, what he always tells me is that Kakashi never does anything. I was like,
yeah.
are we watching the same show? Because, like, he does quite a bit. And, like, I spoiled this for myself on accident because I was looking at... Because when it was showing stuff about Kakashi's background and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just search some Kakashi stuff and read about him. And then it was like, Kakashi becomes 6th Hokage. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't want to know that. But I guess it doesn't really affect anything in the grand scheme of things, so it's not a big deal. But
yeah, and I'm pretty sure the relevance of that little arc was almost not at all.
yeah. But, like, I don't know. Kakashi is super cool, and I like him. But what gets me is, like... he has the Sharingan, right? So, like... If everybody who has Sharingan can do, like, basically the same shit, why don't other Sharingan users do the copycat ninja kind of shit that he does?
Because that's, like, his specific style of it. I think that's why. It's more like they each make their own. Mm-hmm. It's if you want to translate it to My Hero, it's the All Might thing, where it's like they put their own spin on the power.
Okay.
That's how I take it, at least.
Because I was like... I mean, and he can do... Does he have Mangekyo? I can't remember if he did that.
I know he gets it at some point.
Because I know, like, he can do that thing
it.
where he, like, warps shit out of existence.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the Mangekyo, but...
I don't know when he uses it, but I know he has it.
I just haven't seen anybody else do that weird, like, I can make a weird portal thing and black hole your arm off like he did to Deidara.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
Deidara, I didn't like him as much to begin with, but he grew on me a little more.
That's kind of where I was at. So part of my original knowledge of him was from the game, and
oops.
Oh yeah.
Wah,
yeah, sorry. We got caught up in conversation, but we'll get up.
The passion of debate.
Well, we can just finish this conversation.
Yeah.
And then it was like, he was just kind of annoying. He was like, oh, I'm going to be super lame and just say the same stuff. And
art is an explosion.
Yeah.
That's legit all he says.
It is a lot. My art is an explosion. Almost to the very end.
No, to the very end, when he, like, explodes himself, he keeps saying that.
But...
Oh my gosh.
He's one where, like, as he develops a little bit, and especially when I went back and was going through the series, and I was just like, he's actually kind of a neat character.
Yeah, his jutsus and stuff are pretty interesting, especially when he's fighting Sasuke, but, I mean, when you first see him, he kind of just creates the same kind of crap, and then it explodes, and I was like, okay, cool, you can make stuff explode.
And I think that was part of the problem, was when they first introduced him, it was just long enough to, like, go get Gaara and that kind of, They didn't really give him any limelight. Alright, well.
So, we gonna order pizza?
I'm so down for that. If you're serious right now.
I'm pretty serious. I'm getting a little hungry.
Wow, had I known, I wouldn't have bought pizza.
Wow! Right, well, we'll get back to you next time.
Wowzers!
I love you all.
Love you more, as always.
I love you the most.
That's all lies.
Shit.
I love you more. And I edit, so I get to determine it.
Wow, you're just gonna cut out our parts.
Alright, bye.
Oh my god, he fucking fell! He